There have been some names thrown around. Chris Pronger was one. Eric
Yeah.
Lindros. Have you been hearing anything about that?
Yeah, like I think all those names are legit. Like to me, it's going to be, Danny. Although he's smart, and we've all talked about it, he doesn't have a lot of experience yet in this role. And I think the one of the questions I'm curious about is, do they want someone around him who's been around a long time? Like, you're going to need those kinds of people up and down. Like I think Brent Flower stays. I think I want a guy I wonder about is Ray Shero. Ray Shero has ties to Philly, obviously, with his dad. And and he's done this kind of a job before. I wonder about Shero. I have heard Doan's name. I have heard Pronger's name. I have heard Eric's name, but I've heard Eric's name kind of in maybe not a president role, but a big role in addition to them. Pronger, I don't remember if I mentioned. I have heard it. Ray Whitney is another name I've heard potentially.
Oh, wow.
And so, I mean, and Ed Olczyk is another name I've heard.
Yeah,
I think, but the one thing is that, and this is what I would say, I know this hasn't been an easy time for the Flyers, but the Flyers name still carries weight. Like, if you tell people you can be president of hockey ops for the Philadelphia Flyers, you're going to have a lineup of people who are going to want to do it. And I think that's the case. I think people like the idea of Briere, but I also think people really like the idea of saying, I have an important position with the Philadelphia Flyers because the Flyers, they matter. And I think they're. I'm just curious to see where you're going to put the experience. Oh, the other name I didn't mention, who I think I've heard is interested, is Robert Esch, a guy both you guys know.
Esche, yeah.
Yeah, and he's got a business background. He's been running Utica for a long time. I gotta tell you a funny Robert Esch story. Like, I don't know Esch that well, but I remember I was in a scrum with him once in a game in I think it was in Buffalo. And he once asked, he was talking with like Tim Panaccio and Sam Carchidi and those guys, and he said to them, like, do you guys ever watch the game on TV and write the story? Like, you guys ever get like hung over or something and you can't come to the game and you write the story off TV or something like that? And they go, no, you'd get fired if you did that. Like, you can't do that. And he was like, okay, well, I'm just going to tell you guys, if you guys ever get hung over and you need quotes or something like that, call me, because I will give you quotes if you're too hungover to come to the game. And I was like, this is the most ridiculous conversation I've ever seen before. But, Ash, as you guys know, he's been running Utica for a long time. So he's got the business background too.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, we have heard Esche, and I mean, he's definitely a good candidate. It'd be interesting how it plays out because, like you said, there's probably a lot more guys that we're not mentioning here too that might be quietly lined up. Because it is, a pretty
great job
position. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.